or let's do it here itself inside. Okay. So basically what we need to do is we need to plot this predicted line, but we need to plot this predicted line on our training set. So instead of test set, we'll plot this predicted line on training set. So I missed the point, missed the step where we can plot this predicted line on the training set, but we can do it right here also. So our x variable will be the x train, y will be the predicted line, which is regressor.predict the x on the x train. Okay, and let's keep the color of that line to be red. Okay. I will take, I know that it's already 6. I will take the next 10 more minutes so that we finish this class, uh, because it was a little bit of theoretical also in the beginning. So let's finish this code in the next 10 minutes. Okay. But for that, I need your best focus. All right. So we plot this x train and we plot this x train on regressor.predict x train. That means that we are actually plotting this y predict or y hat. Okay, so basically this is y hat. We are using this y hat for we are using this function itself here to predict y hat. Okay, let's give it a title, lot.title, and title will be salary versus experience, and this is training set. Okay, training set. And we give a label, which is X label, and X label will be years of experience, and Y label will be salary. Okay, and we will use this show function to show the graph. Okay, so I'll explain this one more time. Scatter graph of X and Y, that means those points. We are plotting this line. So plotting this line on X train, which is the independent variable, and on the base of that, we are predicting this line, which is being predicted by this regressor, which is the object of a linear regression class, and we are coloring this line as red. And we are giving it a title, salary versus experience, and we are using training set. So we are giving this training set here. Years of experience is the X label and Y label is salary. And if I run this code, I will see a graph which looks like this. Okay, so now these are the points. These are the data points that we had. And this is the perfect fit line that best estimates this graph. Okay, so whatever we want to predict. So if I want to predict someone who has a 7.9 years of experience, so I will see where that line is, and I will check how much salary will be, and that salary would be around 1 lakh. Okay, so we'll get this, they get this graph. So quickly do this, like visualizing the training set results. And if you are done, type done and yes or no in the chat box. Okay. Kostub is saying that how do we know this line is correct? Okay, so let's see. So that's why we keep the test set. Okay, so we will use this line with our test set also, and we will see that whether it is behaving well with our test set or not. So if it behaves well with the test set, that means that that's the our model is working fine, right? But with the algorithm, with the gradient descent algorithm, we have implemented that all the error points from this line is minimum. That's why we can safely say that this line is the best linear line that we can fit in this graph. Okay, the algorithm makes sure the linear regression model that we have here, it makes sure that the gradient descent error is the minimum. Okay, so if the error is minimum between all these points, then there can be no other line that can be the best fit of that graph. Okay, the property of a line is that we can only draw a single line on 2 points. So there can be no other line which can minimize all these points, all the error in all these points perfect. Okay. Okay. Those who are having error, I will remove those error by the end of this class. Those who have done this code, please type done and yes. Thank you so much. Aryan, Abhishek, Suryansh, Abhijit, you are setting up the pace for the class. We have 6 more minutes. We will finish it up on time. Okay. For those who have not done this code, my final resort is to paste this code in the meeting group chat so that it is accessible to everyone so that I can move ahead. Okay, sure. Let's go to visualizing the test set results. Okay. To visualize the test set results, we will copy this. Okay, क्योंकि हम काम तो सेम ही कर रहे हैं. So we'll copy this and we will just change this X test and Y test. Okay, we'll just change only two variables like the X train and Y train. Instead of X train and Y train, we will choose X test and Y test. Okay, this will remain same. Why? Because the line is still same. Okay, this will remain same. यहाँ पे test मत करना. This will remain same. The line is still same, and we will see our graph on test set. Now, on the test set means which the data which it has not seen. So this is the data which we have not used to make this line. Okay, this is where machine learning does magic. ये जो points हैं, all these points is the data which this line has not seen. This line has not been trained on this data. This line has been trained on this data. Okay. Now, because this data was in a linear pattern, we can see that it is working very good for the points which it has not seen. बहुत ही कम error है इसमें, है ना? तो I can safely say that this model is working fine. Okay. Now, this was easy because you just had to change the X test and Y test, X train and Y train to X test and Y test, right? Now, let's come to the last part of it. That means that now we are making a model, making a kind of like a input output system to predict the salary of an employee. So let's make a user interface. क्योंकि आपको HR ने बोला कि you have to predict the salary of an employee on the base of the years of experience. Now, if you just show the graphs to that HR, he will be like, what is this? Right? Let's create a user interface for that. So let's take a variable, which is years of experience. Let's call it years. Okay. And let's take an input. And by using this input plus, and here we take enter the years of experience. Okay. Okay, so you take this, you make a variable years, and you use this function input to input the enter the years of experience. Okay, and you change this to years float. So this input function, it takes everything in a string way. Okay, it takes everything as a character, so you have to change it as character. Okay, so you use this float method to change years into floating point. So floating point is basically decimal number, right? Your age will your years of experience will be some number, right? Some number in decimal. So now what you need to do is you take this, you make this another variable, which is prediction, and you use this regressor dot predict function to predict this output. Okay, years underscore float. Okay, now you print this, print the salary of the employee is what? Prediction. Okay, and you run this. Sorry, I forgot the comma. Okay, so it asked me the years of experience, and I type, let's say 8.9. Then it says the salary of the employee is this. Okay, now I will explain this, why I did this. So I just wanted to do it first. and then explain. So basically I am taking the input, I'm basically making the user experience or some kind of like a system to work with this model. So I made this years variable where I'm taking the input as enter the years of experience, and I took the input from the person, and I made a variable. I changed it to float. Why float?